Hello. Hello, everybody. It is me, Michael, the owner and operator of Broadway.media here on Instagram. I'm so excited that you have joined today's Instagram Live. I will be with David Alpert, the host of ETicket to Broadway, just very shortly. But before I have David join, I just want to brag about David for a little bit. So David Alpert is a successful director who has worked on several Broadway productions and has worked with the talents of Idina Menzel, just to name Mother Elphaba out of everybody. And I just want to let you guys know, if you've missed anything from David's Instagram Live, there's a story highlight on my profile where you can see David's posts throughout the day, and David has requested to join. Let's get your takeover host. Everybody show some love for David in the comments. Think we're getting David to connect. Hi, David.
Hey, Michael.
How are you?
I'm good. It's been so fun sharing my day with your viewers. Thanks for making that happen.
I know. Well, thank you for taking over today. How's your day? How's everything been going?
It's good. It's a beautiful day in New York City. I've been hard at work editing episodes and merch stuff. The ETicket to Broadway shop just launched. We're really excited, and
yes, that's so exciting.
It is, and we'll talk later about a special coupon for those people.
Yes.
But yeah, it's really fun to, in this time, to continue to be creative and try and spread some joy. So thank you again for allowing me to do that with your viewers.
Yes, of course. And I just wanted to say, thank you. I've told you this before, but thank you so much for creating ETicket to Broadway. I seriously love that podcast so much. And it's literally my two favorite things, literally Broadway and the Disney theme parks. So I was so excited when I was like, yes, finally a podcast. That's me.
That's, what's funny is, and hi Maria, hi my mom.
Hi everybody. Hi.
What's cool is, me talking to people about the Disney parks isn't new.
Same.
Supporting it, but it's been really exciting in the Broadway community to figure out who also loves the parks. And
right.
Some Broadway members, I ask them hey, do you like Disneyland? And they're like, it's not for me. It's like, okay, totally fine.
Taking notes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm wearing it. I'm a land boy. What's your park?
I'm a Disney World. I've never been to land. So I've only been to Disney World twice. So
yeah, that's great. So you might be interested in the Team World, all those wonderful lines, show off your Orlando pride.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm originally from Mass. So, and I'm in Rhode Island right now for school. So I've always been on the East Coast for everything. But yeah, what's everybody in the comments? Everyone in the comments say if you're Disneyland or Disney World. We'll have to see what the audience is pulling in. Okay, got a couple land people. Cool.
Oh, there's a land family. Yes, that's true.
Yes. So my first question for you, David, is when you started creating ETicket, you got to interview so many amazing Tony winners like Jessie Mueller, Idina Menzel, Annalee Ashford. And then you got to interview Disney legends like Jodie Benson and Susan Egan. Out of all your guests that you've interviewed, who has surprised you the most with any newfound knowledge you learned or just any memories you got to know about them?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I definitely think, interviewing Jonathan Freeman and Jodie Benson and Susan Egan to kind of learn about the creation of the movies that they gave voice to has been really cool. It's just recently Jonathan Freeman sharing about his journey getting started as recording Jafar and then the role to Broadway was really exciting to hear about. I will say, talking to Jodie Benson for about 2 hours and hearing her stories of recording The Little Mermaid, Crazy for You. Again, there's that Broadway Disney overlap.
Yes.
And how Crazy for You intersected with Little Mermaid was exciting, especially coming off of Smile and the journey she took on. So I really like learning from these people as human beings and how we look at them as these crazy, talented legends, but they just got a job. And to hear from them.
Yeah, the Jodie Benson interview, it was a two-parter, and I just was crying whenever, I don't know why, I think it's the Renaissance movies. I grew up, I'm only 18, but those were my movies. I loved the Renaissance movies, and especially Howard Ashman and Alan Menken's legacy with the Disney company.
For sure.
I can't not listen to Part of Your World without crying. Just after watching the Howard documentary on Disney Plus, just amazing.
Yes.
Um,
And also, like, my favorite musical is Little Shop of Horrors.
yes, yeah, I love that show.
32, I said, Somewhere That's Green and Part of Your World are so similar to me. And
Yes,
again, it's a great I Want song. But definitely, those movies are part of my childhood. And, I also love the Golden Age, but the Renaissance is great.
yeah, Renaissance top notch. Um, so shifting a little bit, let's talk about a little bit of your theater career
Sure.
and all your work. You've gotten to work on all of your Broadway productions. So how did theater come into your life?
It's a great question. My parents always loved musical theater. We would sing Name That Show tune in the car. My family just loved the theater. I remember in elementary school doing a project and saying that I wanted to be a theater director. I don't remember theater not being a part of my life. Same with Disneyland. It just kind of, I jokingly say I've been on brand my whole life, but truly it has. So I remember always wanting to be a director and wanting to be an Imagineer. And as I've continued on with my life, just trying to find those opportunities. So I'm not sure the answer. I think it's just part of my DNA.
Nice. And when you actually got to step foot into a rehearsal room and work on your first Broadway production, that must have been crazy. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. It was, I'd moved to New York in 2007, and a year later, I was getting ready to work on the Guys and Dolls revival with Graham and Craig Bierko and Oliver Platt and Titus Burgess, some really great people. And I remember getting off the train in Times Square and walking to New 42, and I listened to the overture of Guys and Dolls from the 92 revival, the last time it had been on Broadway. And walking through Times Square, listening to that overture, walking into my first Broadway rehearsal was really cool. And
Wow.
it wasn't so much that people were more talented than people I'd worked with, but it was definitely a sense of professionalism and pride. And
Yeah.
so high stakes, and I loved it.
Nice. And you posted a little bit on the story, but do you want to talk about your college experience? I'm currently a freshman in college,
Sure.
majoring in theater, specifically management, and then I'm going to be minoring in public relations. Do you want to share any
Yeah, that's awesome.
journeys about your time in college?
Yeah, and if she's still listening, Amanda Ryan Page was helpful in helping me make that transition from college to New York. Hopefully she's still watching. I went to college knowing that I wanted to be a director. The most undergraduate programs didn't have directing, so maybe like you, I had to kind of get into the department, me personally as a lighting designer. And then once I was in, continue to push into directing wherever I could, and they actually helped me create a major so that I could continue to work on directing.
Mm-hmm.
College is great because, as I'm sure you're finding as well, it's not so much what you're learning, because that's a huge part of it, but also you have the chance to try and fail.
Mm-hmm.
Little low stakes, right? My first directing project was not very successful, but I had a safe place to try. And just like when I teach now at NYU, encouraging my students, like, just go for it. It's okay if you crack. It's okay if the song choice isn't the right authentic choice. It's okay. This is the chance to really try it out and be comfortable and confident. So I think the college experience for theater is really crucial in terms of finding your own voice and finding the confidence to do it, because you're switching from a hobby and an extracurricular activity to a career, and it can
Right.
be a little bumpy. I hope it's
Yeah.
going to you.
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. Thank you. Yeah, it was interesting adjusting because I had finished senior year of high school on Zoom basically, and then trying to switch into in-person / Zoom classes were very interesting for theater.
Yeah.
But it's been very good. We're putting up our show next week. We're going to be filming it. So it's very cool seeing how it's all coming together during a pandemic.
Theater people, we're good at pivoting.
Yes, yes.
You just have to pivot, whether it's switching to Zoom or it's cutting a scene the night before a preview. It's like, we have a challenge, let's deal with it and let's move forward. So
Right.
Uniquely equipped to handle this.
Yes. Another question I had was, now you've worked on several Broadway productions. What has been the most memorable show? I know every show has their own special places in everybody's heart, but is there a show that was really distinct on your career?
Of the Broadway productions or in general?
It could be anything.
I mean, I can't narrow it down. I always refer back to my senior thesis in college. of Little Shop that I got to direct, and it was the first time I directed a full-length musical, and things clicked. I remember a friend of mine watching me in rehearsal. She goes, "You seem very happy." And I was like, "I am. I figured it out." That's always memorable to me. Definitely the 4 Broadway shows that I've done are incredibly memorable. Everything from, Guys and Dolls, which wasn't a commercial hit or a critical hit in that case, but knowing that it was my first Broadway show, working on The Best Man, Candice Bergen is a dream. She's my fairy godmother, but working with Angela Lansbury and James Earl Jones on that show, Trip to Bountiful was magnificent, and getting to work on it in LA and Boston. If then the company, some really wonderful lifelong friends have come out of that production, including your favorite Miss Elphaba herself.
Miss Adina Menzel.
That's right. But also, I feel like every production, and I say this to my students too, it's like when we think of show by show, that can be a little damaging for me because they end and what's next. But when you think of it as a career and kind of arcing thing, it's more helpful for me. But so I don't have a real great answer. I think I'll say Little Shop in college and probably If Then, the company.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna switch to a little game that I have planned.
Okay.
I kind of borrowed it from ETicket, but we're gonna play a little round of Tweedle Tweedle Dum. Is that okay with you?
Bring it on.
So everyone in the comments, I don't know why you haven't, but if you haven't listened to ETicket, we're playing this or that basically. So if you want to play along, put your answers in the comments, and I'm gonna play along as well. So David,
yes.
First question: Mickey ice cream bar or a Mickey pretzel?
When you say ice cream bar, you mean like the one on the stick and not the sandwich, right?
The stick, yes.
Or a pretzel. I'm gonna go with pretzel on this one.
Okay. I'm feeling the ice cream bar right now, but I love a good Mickey pretzel.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Now, second question, a little bit of a theater one. Would you rather sit in the orchestra of a Broadway show or the mezzanine of a Broadway show?
Great question. Definitely orchestra.
Oh, really? That's a hot take. Why orchestra?
Because I like viewing the show in the same place in which it was designed. In rehearsals, in tech, the creative team is sitting in the orchestra. That's their point of view. And to see it from the mezzanine, it's a different point of view, which is not potentially how the designers created the show.
Yeah.
I think it's great to see shows from the mezzanine. I know some people love seeing kind of the patterns on the stage. But for me, if I'm sitting in the mezzanine, I can see the tracks on the floor. I can see the trackers. Some of the magic is ruined for me. So I'm an orchestra person all the way.
I'm going to say orchestra as well. I really like, and I just love the connection if you get to sit in the front or the second row and I feel more connected into the story. I don't know. I just really love the front.
Yeah.
Okay. So 90s Disney Renaissance movies, The Lion King or Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast. Definitely.
Solid. That was a quick, fast answer.
You know what? I didn't emotionally connect to Lion King.
Okay. I'm gonna have to say The Lion King just because that was like the first movie I remember ever seeing, and still today my favorite movie. But I love Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I love that music and I love Belle, but I have to say Lion King. But what about the stage show? Do you prefer
Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast? Okay.
I think Circle of Life is incredible. It's one of the most exciting sequences on a Broadway stage. But there's something about Beauty and the Beast, its consistency in its storytelling.
Yes.
Lion King, those musical sequences are so exciting. And then the scenes, I get a little lost. Spectacle. But Beauty and the Beast, it's just like from the overture to the finale, it's just perfect, I think. It's so exciting.
I think Beauty and the Beast probably is my favorite score of any Disney movie or musical. It's so amazing, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, another Broadway question.
Okay.
Hamilton or Dear Evan Hansen?
That's a great question. I'm going to stay very positive about theater as I answer this as well.
Yes.
I think I would say Hamilton. I should leave it at that.
I agree. I say Hamilton as well.
But I support Dear Evan Hansen and all the people that worked on it. I always say this: art is subjective. It's some people like things, some people don't. That doesn't take away from the great work that people are doing.
Right. That's a great way to put it. Okay. So now some Disney and Broadway composers.
Okay.
Alan Menken or Stephen Schwartz?
Oh, Alan Menken. Come on. He's got so many great Disney, Stephen Schwartz work, of course. I love a good Pippin or Godspell or Hunchback or Pocahontas, but Alan Menken for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Same
For sure.
for you?
Yeah, I was gonna have to say Alan Menken.
Yeah.
Alan Menken, just he's written like I just love The Little Shop and Beauty and Mermaid, and I just love all the stuff he's done. He's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, some Disney park attractions.
Hey,
Thunder Mountain or Splash Mountain?
Thunder Mountain.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Correct. Yeah. Thunder Mountain.
That's correct.
Splash is fun, but Splash, I'm terrified for most of it. It depends. When I last went on a few years ago, I was in the very front, and it was not
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, when I went to Disney World my second time, it's like my freshman year of high school. I had not gone on Splash Mountain before, and that first drop in the dark or whatever,
Yeah,
wigged me out.
yeah. They don't.
I was like, "What?"
They don't. I mean, like I was like, oh, there's that big drop at the end. They don't tell you about the other ones.
Yeah, I was like false advertising people. Like I thought it was one drop. I was like mustering up all the courage, and I was like, "Okay." And then the drop happened. I was like, "Not ready." I was like, "Cool, thanks."
But also Big Thunder because my sister Eliza loves it. I think it's her favorite. She's viewing it right now.
Yeah.
Love holding on to those hats and glasses.
Yes.
One of my favorite designs in the shop is the High on the Hill was a Lonely Goat. It's just a loving homage to a Julie Andrews moment, but
Yes. But also like a Frontierland moment too. So you got to tie it in together.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Haunted Mansion or the Jungle Cruise?
That's good. Usually when I ask people, I say like Haunted Mansion or Pirates, but Haunted Mansion or the Jungle Cruise. I think I would say Haunted Mansion.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think it's a fully realized experience, and so much care put into it. Also because with Jungle Cruise, once in a while you might get a skipper that you're just not vibing with.
Yeah, who's just like, I've done a couple trips around the river today, and
It depends. Sometimes I have a Jungle Cruise skipper that's so fun and makes me like it even more than Haunted Mansion. But I think consistently Haunted Mansion it's such a wonderful attraction.
yeah, and I think I'm also a sucker for the soundtrack in Haunted Mansion. Like, got to have a nice little musical moment.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Okay. Now,
Gun
Epcot.
too much. You know when
Sorry.
they shoot the gun on Jungle Cruise, it terrifies me.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
It's
We're
like
doing-
drop in Splash Mountain. I was like, I didn't want that. I wasn't prepared.
right. Like they need to have like a pamphlet of all the surprises that might come.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So now we're gonna do the parks of Walt Disney World.
Okay.
Epcot or Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom.
Yes,
Cool.
obvious.
It's the nostalgia. It's the Disney brand.
Yes.
Same for
Sorry.
same for you.
Yes, definitely same. And then the next one, Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios?
I think Hollywood Studios. There's something about Epcot and Animal Kingdom, for as cool as they are, they don't feel as Disney to me.
Yeah.
I personally, because even though I'm from Michigan, I spent all my childhood in Los Angeles and going to Disneyland. That Epcot and Animal Kingdom are so cool, but to me, it lacks kind of the Disney magic at times.
Mm-hmm.
Just like on the safari, when it's like that animal is real; it's not an audio animatronic.
Right. Yeah. It's no Jungle Cruise.
But I mean, like Everest is incredible. It's a great.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to differ. I'm gonna have to say Animal Kingdom on this one. Just because I love going on the safari. I think it's so fun, and also I haven't been to Pandora yet, but
Sure,
I think
you're right.
but when I do, I think I'm gonna like love it even more. But also, I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge.
That's what I was gonna say. Like you've got Flight of Passage versus Rise of the Resistance.
I know, like that's gonna be a real like this or Tweedledee, real
I know,
Tweedledum.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna really have to be like, okay, let's see which one. But no, I'm so excited for the next time I can go back to the parks. And then our last question for this game of Tweedledee or Tweedledum: Les Miserables or The Phantom of the Opera?
I'm gonna go with Les Mis on this one. Phantom.
That's the correct answer.
Well, again, art is subjective. Phantom
yeah.
terrified me as a kid. I think it still does. There's something ingrained in my mind about the fear. But to me, as a director, I always love when the score truly reflects the time period, the vibe of it. I know
Yeah.
Hamilton has taken that in a different direction. That's awesome. But same thing, there's something about the synthesizer sounds of Phantom, which are so iconic for it, and I think very successful. When you hear the score of Les Mis, some of the songs just feel so right. And I remember when
Right.
I saw the revival a few years ago, because I saw it as a kid, you see it and you're like, oh, the story is way simpler than I remember,
Hmm.
which is really nice. But I do love that score of Les Mis very much. What about you?
I'm gonna have to say Les Mis as well. When I was younger, um, God, I don't remember how old I was. Maybe it was like seventh grade, I think. I saw a production of Les Mis, and I completely did not get it. I
Yeah,
was so confused. And also, seventh grade, I had seen a bunch of shows by then, but still a big ask for a longer show for a
yeah,
seventh grade. But I think I was like just not into it. I did not understand the story. And then in 2019, I saw the most recent revival tour when it came to Boston, and I was like, wow, this is Broadway.
yeah,
Like this is Broadway. Like,
yeah, for sure.
and like the songs and Les Mis. But I've also never been a huge Andrew Lloyd Webber fan. I like some of his shows,
Hmm.
but Les Mis, so good.
You love it. I mean, listen, the Joseph score, I love it. It's super.
Joseph, yes. Joseph, Jesus Christ Superstar,
Yep.
Evita, can't go wrong. Like, can't go wrong with those shows. So thanks for letting me do a little round of
Of
Tweedle Dum
course.
Tweedle Dum.
Thanks for.
Um, yeah, so I wanted to ask that you've gotten to interview so many Broadway and Disney talents for your podcast. Who is your dream person to interview?
Julie Andrews, 1,000%. Julie Andrews, all the way. It's my dream. I think she is so wonderful, and of course, so iconic in those
Yeah.
both. I mean, like, she's one of those people that you would say, like, what is she most famous for? Because you could say, well, Sound of Music, but you could say Mary Poppins as well. You know,
Yeah.
of course, all of her many other wonderful Broadway turns. So for me, I need to get to Miss Andrews. I was able to meet her once,
Oh, really?
and it was a wonderful experience. It was actually Adina was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was kind enough to let me come with her because Julie Andrews was the other guest.
Oh,
So
that's so sweet.
it was a moment where Adina Menzel introduced me to Julie Andrews, and I was like, well, that's the peak of my life. I don't think it's going to go any further than that, but she is my dream guest.
That's awesome. Yes, Julie Andrews is too good for this world. She is practically perfect in
There
every
you
way.
go. Yep.
She truly
You
is.
can you can take over hosting E-Ticket Broadway with that kind of banter.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
drop it
Oh
at
my
Disney.
god. That's
And
my
well, you
my
got a shout out
dream.
from Heidi Blickenstaff, which was
David, when that happened, I messaged you, but I was freaking out. I was catching up on my episodes because I was a little bit far behind. I was like, I had to listen to Heidi and I had to listen to Adam's episode. Um, and when I heard the name Michael, I was like, I totally forgot I asked Heidi a question, and I had a long day of school, and I was just like, wow, that really like made me so happy.
good. You're good.
So
I
thank you,
mean,
that was awesome.
from the beginning, I always wanted E-Ticket to feel like it was for the listeners, and so from the very first episode, I always open up, on Instagram, as you have clearly seen, to allow listeners to submit questions for the guests. And on the Instagram page, we're always trying to engage because I think in this time, this podcast came out of a place where both the Broadway theaters and the Disney parks were shut down. So how could we create this world that really allows people to feel connected in a safe way? So again, for anyone watching this, join us on Instagram because it's not just, here's what the next episode is. There's games, there's Fast Pass Friday, there's
Yeah,
Tweedle Tweedle Dum. So
yeah.
it's really,
Everybody go follow David's socials for ETicket Broadway and
yeah, it's
stay
really
connected because your favorite Broadway guest could be showing up or already has shown up on the
yeah.
episode.
Who is there someone that hasn't shown up yet that you're interested in hearing on the podcast?
That is a great. Well, you already got so many of my favorite people. Like I'm a huge Jessie Mueller fan. I love Jessie. I think she is. I would. Everyone on Broadway has been so amazing, but I feel like Jessie is such a chameleon
Mm-hmm.
with her voice and her gift, and it's so refreshing every single time she does a new role. It's so different and so her. But someone who hasn't been on the podcast. I was gonna say Queen Leslie, but my queen has been on the podcast. I love her.
Yeah.
She's right up there.
Yes. And
Maybe,
Leslie was the first interview I did, and it was me really trying to figure it out. And
yeah.
so we did it again. So the one that's actually been released was round 2, because I was trying to find my footing with sound and also just how we were doing it. And Leslie, of course, is a wonderful human being. And I jump at any chance to connect with her.
Is she what she presents herself as on social? I've never gotten to meet her. I think she is such a comedy icon. I actually did my scholarship to get into my school. I did of Leslie, and I mentioned her in the video. Is she like just the biggest sparkle pants ever? And so,
I mean, you know this, like what we present on social media is only a tiny part of our life. And so I think what Leslie presents on social media is authentically her. She is that funny. She and I both love self-deprecating humor. Listen, if there's like a taxidermy dog that I see, I'm going to send a picture of it to her. So that's exactly who she is. But sometimes on social media, you're not also seeing the many other sides of her. And
right.
I'm a huge fan of her. I've gotten to direct her a couple times, and she's done a lot of e-ticket work and always says yes, because we love, she and I see the world very similarly. But she's a great, great person, and I'm glad that you enjoy her work, because one day when you meet her, you can, just like Heidi Blickenstaff, go speechless,
Go speechless, just say, "Can I give you a hug?"
That's right.
So I think on the pod, I would love to either see Rob McClure or Titus Burgess hasn't been on yet, right? Or will he?
He has not been on yet. Emphasis on yet. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Titus is one of my first New York friends. We did Guys and Dolls together, and I love him very much. And he's a busy boy, but we've been working on scheduling, and Rob's on my list.
Yeah, I would love to see a Rob McClure interview again. Him and Leslie are comedy icons, and I've gotten to see Rob when I've seen Something Rotten twice, but I got to see it when it was in Boston. And oh man, he is so talented. I can't wait to see Miss Doubtfire when that comes back.
For sure.
I cried when that casting announcement came out, like in Tears of Joy, because I love Robin Williams and all of his work, and I was like, oh, Miss Doubtfire. I was like, only Rob McClure could do that. Like, and then I see Rob McClure to headline Miss Doubtfire, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
I feel like a nice blanket. Like, okay, this is gonna be good. And
cares. Rob cares very much, which is great. It's funny. I had not met or worked with neither Rob nor Leslie until the first BroadwayCon, when they both did the opening that I wrote and directed. And it was, as I said to both of them, I was like, you're kind of those just add water actors.
Yeah.
Where I say, like, what if it's this? And they're like, great, and they do it. It's brilliant. And you're like, cool.
That's such a good That really is them, yeah.
Yep.
What has it been like working at BroadwayCon and being able to like direct the numbers with all the actors, and how BroadwayCon's been going on? It's legacy, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my time with BroadwayCon was full of connecting with really great people, and it was really interesting. I had never been to a fan convention. I've never been to D23. So I think a lot of the first year was me kind of understanding that, as we said in the opening, there's a place for us, like from somewhere. And it was really exciting to see that to work on Broadway, one must grow up loving it in some way. You don't just fall into Broadway as a plan B. So when I was backstage getting people ready to go on for the opening or the cabaret or the jukebox or trivia or Family Feud, whatever it is, it was like a rock concert. And the people backstage, these Broadway stars, were so excited because the people in the audience, that's us as well. So, someone in the audience might be thrilled to see Leslie, but then I've got Leslie in the wings looking at Chita Rivera, and she's thrilled to see Chita Rivera. So there was, unlike potentially at Comic-Con, you might become an actor and love Shakespeare and acting and not give a crap about the Marvel universe. You might be cast in a Marvel movie, and you may not understand that fandom. But I think for Broadway, and what BroadwayCon was so special was the people that were the celebrities love it just as much.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like, as you've heard on the podcast, like, I think that's true for Jodie Benson and for Jonathan Freeman, these people that truly love the brand, and then suddenly they are the brand. So I
Yeah.
think that makes some conversations really cool.
Yeah. They're literally walking, breathing the Disney brand, like just with their voice,
Mm-hmm.
just with their iconic voices.
Yeah.
So, David, I'm gonna ask you two closing questions, and then you can gift the audience with the special
Yeah.
announcement for your shop. So, before we end, what is your dream Disney park day when you can return to the parks again?
For sure. You know what? I'm a creature of habits, so I feel like I probably have done this day, but I show up for rope drop. I have a reservation at Carnation Cafe on Main Street, and I'm going to get those Mickey pancakes and coffee and strawberries, and listen to the music. And then I've already got my first few Max passes scheduled, my fast pass whichever park is your home park. But I'm going to go on a lot of rides. I'm going to be having lunch probably at now it's the Beauty and the Beast restaurant. Used to be Geppetto's Village House. I'm going to be on a lot of great attractions all day. I'm going to be seeing Fantasmic. I'm going to be seeing the fireworks. I'm going to be buying a lot of stuff in the Emporium. I'm definitely going on Radiator Racers a couple times. And I'm surrounded by a lot of people that love the parks, just like me, and are comfortable doing whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's my perfect day, but probably buying a lot of souvenirs, having a Mickey Mouse ice cream sandwich, living my best life, taking too many photos of the castle.
Yeah. Gotta get a good castle pick.
That's right.
I think that's so true. Like having a group of people who are just ready to do whatever. Because I feel like you can have, like, when I've gone, like, you have the schedules for, like, okay, you have the dining reservation and then you have your fast pass, but also just taking in the moment and just seeing what you can do at Disney is like the best kind of magic.
That's right. And one day, yes, Craig, I will go and Rise of the Resistance. I haven't gone on it yet.
Yeah. I got to get on there. I got to get on it too.
About getting that boarding pass. Again, I was supposed to go last year, and of course didn't, but was so prepared for getting there early and, one day. But but honestly, as I get older, just being at Disneyland is a perfect day.
Yeah.
It's like when I don't know if you've ever celebrated a birthday there, but I've done that. And I remember thinking, like, I guess it's my birthday, but every time I'm at Disneyland, it already feels so special. But
yeah.
And there's Jess. Yes, Jess, you should come to Disneyland as well. Jess Siswick, she designs great designs for the ETicket to Broadway shop. Really great stuff. Really fun, as we call them, our lovingly dumb ideas that we're going to keep sharing.
All right. Well, okay. That's awesome. And that sounds like a perfect Disney day. Our last question is, whenever Broadway comes back, what is the first show you want to see as you're welcome back to Broadway?
Yeah. It's so funny. Someone just asked me this on a podcast. I don't have an answer. Whatever show I see first will be special. It doesn't matter if it's, The Lion King or Dear Evan Hansen or Six. It could be anything. It can be an off-Broadway show, a play. I just think the moment when the house lights go down would be magical. And I think my favorite moment of a show is after the final line, after the final number, when the lights go out before the curtain call, is my favorite moment because we just had a shared experience. So I don't have a specific show in mind. I've got some shows that were canceled, so hopefully maybe it'll be one of mine.
Same.
I don't think that's true, but something like that could be really fun.
What were some of the shows that you got cancellations to?
Sure. One was a play called Our Brother's Son that was going to be at Signature off Broadway. We were supposed to start rehearsals on March 24th.
Oh.
It didn't happen. And again, the theater community has sacrificed so much to say, like, you know what, we're going to stand back, and we're all wearing masks and socially distancing, and we want to make sure the rest of the world is, because our livelihood is down. And the other one is a wonderful new musical called The Apple Boys that we did off Broadway, excuse me, and is going to be transferring soon. But it's about a barbershop quartet at the turn of the century in Coney Island. I always say it's like the Dapper Dans meets Peter and the Starcatcher. So it's a really lovely, sweet musical. It's coming soon. We just have to figure out, we have to figure out the timing and the safety.
Yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to see the Little Shop of Horrors off Broadway revival
Yeah.
with Jeremy Jordan. That was I got those tickets as a birthday present from my sister, and we were gonna go together. Um, I think there was a couple other tours I was supposed to see, but we still have tickets. And now it's gonna be March 26th of 2022 to see The Music Man.
Is that your birthday's March 26th?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
Michael, mine's
Yeah.
March 23rd.
Oh my gosh,
We're so
we're
close.
Aries buddies.
Aries, yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm just borderline Aries. I'm also, but I'm more of a Hufflepuff than an Aries, is what I would say. But
And I'm a Hufflepuff too, David.
look at that.
What the heck?
But
What the heck?
you're Team World and I'm Team Land, so that's where we.
Yeah, that's
But I support you. It's all great.
It's all good.
But yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully, everyone will continue to be smart and think of others, and we can get back into theaters before we know it.
I can't wait for Broadway to come back. There's so many new shows I want to see. But if I had to go back and be like, pay my ticket down, I really would love to see Six again.
Oh yeah,
I saw it in Cambridge at the American Repertory Theater twice.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go front row both times, and that's just a rave.
that is
And
fun.
it's such a party, and I've connected with a lot of the girls through social media, and I've gotten like all three of the alternates have taken over, and they're so kind and so gracious. So I would love to see the Queens again.
That's right. That was the last I saw before the shutdown, and the end of January, I did a live show with 4 of the 6 women.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was so cool because again, that score is so great. And you know what? I think if someone was like, "We're going to give you a ticket," I'd say like, "I'll see 6 again." I would love to just have so much fun with a group of people. Again, 6 is about celebrating women and the power of coming back and a great celebration. That could be a really good choice.
And it would be such a great. And I just want them to get their opening night, as so many shows didn't get to, but especially with them they closed right on their opening night. And I was like, come on, I want the Queens back. Is there a Queen that you, if you could play a Queen, or do you relate to a certain Queen?
I don't. I'm so not a performer. I'm going to say I'll relate to the music director that's on stage. I'll say I relate to that Queen. The one that's like happy to have the performers in the spotlight. And I'll just be upstage doing my thing, helping them. But I would say of the 6, I'll let the professionals do their thing.
Good answer. Good answer. David, do you want to announce your announcement for the listeners?
Yes, I'm pulling up the right information. So if you go to ETicket to Broadway shop, which is www.eticketpodcast/shop, for today until midnight, so that's about 10 more hours, if you use code BWAY5, BWAY5, we're going to give everyone $5 off a purchase of $50 or more. So as a special thank you, Michael, for having me take over your Instagram today, and just to spread more joy, you can get so many fun Disney merch options with a strong emphasis in musical theater. If you get that 16 bars design, if you like the Mickey Mouse ice cream, there's one that says my go-to 16 bars, and they're Mickey Mouse ice cream bars. You may be able to make out a familiar tune in the image, maybe. There's lots of little Easter eggs in our designs, but we'll put that information out there. But again, BWAY5, just the rest of the day, $5 off your order of $50 or more.
David, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see the rest of the content you have for us throughout the day. Everybody go use the sale on ETicket Broadway's website. David, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Michael.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.